Welcome to the Alien Portal Podcast, where we ask the questions to the most out of this world topic, explore the world of ufology and ancient historical evidence of aliens. Come along for the ride while we learn of the existence of and the coexistence with beings out of this world. Thank you for joining us today. I am Chris, your host. This is Fun Friday episode. We will be discussing aliens and making jokes along the way. Today with me is my friend B. B, since this is your idea, would you like to explain it a little bit more?
Sure. Well, we figured we'd do a Fun Day Friday where we get to tell jokes and exchange quotes about different media or from different media that talks about aliens and space. Um, because oftentimes we find the subject discussed in movies, in books, there's an entire genre, sci-fi, for instance, based on wondering if aliens exist and where they come from and how do they relate to us. So we've compiled a little fun stuff for y'all to listen to today for your entertainment.
Yeah, thank you very much, B. It was a great idea.
Thank you.
So, what is your first and favorite alien film?
Okay, my first and favorite alien film is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's very widely known. It's based off a book by Douglas Adams, and it has some really, truly wonderful zingers in there. I want to start with one quote that I have. This is Arthur. He says, "You know," said Arthur, "it's times like this when I am trapped in a Vogan airlock with a man from Betelgeuse, about to die of asphyxiation in deep space, that I really wish I had listened to what my mother told me when I was young." Why? What did she tell you? I don't know. I didn't listen. And we can all relate to that because there have been plenty of times where we don't necessarily listen and we find ourselves in dire straits, or in this case, a Borgen airlock, and really wish we had listened to our mother's advice.
Yeah, yeah, there's plenty of times I wish I would have listened to my mother's advice. Well, my personal all time favorite is Independence Day. And,
Oh, why do you like Independence Day?
well, apart from the, people that are starting in the film, well, let's say Will Smith, he starts as a fighter pilot, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and what's his name? Bill Pullman. He's
Mm-hmm.
the president of the United
He's the
States.
president. Yep.
Yeah, and he gives this great speech about how we all need to unite, and I really love that speech in the movie. And Jeff Goldblum, the guy from the commercials, which I truly don't know what his role is in the movie. I just know he's some sort of technical guy.
Mm-hmm. I think
uh,
he's a technical expert.
yeah, some sort of technical expert. And he has a relationship with some White House staff. And that's how
Mm-hmm.
he has that connection. And it also has Mary McDonnell, which is the president's wife. And the only reason I mention her is because she's also in Battlestar Galactica, which is my favorite show of all time.
Ooh, that is a good one. That
Yeah.
is a good one. Though my favorite, I would have to say, with television shows is Dune. That is just like the Children of Dune, and the whole miniseries that they developed to go with Dune is phenomenal.
Yeah, that is. Well, I've only seen the recent movie, the new Dune movie that came out on
Ah.
HBO.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to catch up to anything of the old stuff. So,
Well, the older one is, it basically divides people into two parties. You have people who really truly love the film, and then you have the purists who are very angry at the film because they didn't follow Frank Herbert's original design when he wrote the books.
wow.
So yeah, and they get very heated about it because, like I said, there's two. It's almost like two political parties. They're like, this is how it should be. No, this is how it should be. So for I enjoyed all of the films because I enjoy the entertainment very much. Like, I thought Frank Herbert wrote a beautiful book, and then getting to see the different takes on it. Though I do believe this last film really did a better job of honoring what Frank Herbert, his vision.
Yeah, I'm really gonna have to check that out then. Anything that gives polarizing views sounds good to me.
Hmm.
So how about we tell a few jokes?
Sure. Can I start?
Yes, you can start.
Excellent. Now, I have borrowed this joke from someone named Platinum Sam on his little article. Did you hear the one about the alien? So, this is not one of my originals. I do have other originals coming up. So, if they're terrible, you'll know they're mine. So, his joke is, why don't aliens celebrate Christmas?
Why?
Because they don't like to give away their presents.
Yeah,
I thought that one was very good.
that one's cute. Yeah. Well, this one, this joke that I have is a modified joke from a friend of ours, uh, from Danny, Daniela.
Nice.
Yeah. She told us this joke, and I modified it for it to be alien like.
Ooh.
So, an alien and his alien son are traveling across the Earth on their spaceship.
Uh-huh.
The young
Uh-huh.
alien turns to his dad and says, "How do we know when someone is an alcoholic, Dad?" The dad says, "Well, son, you see those two earthling planes? An alcoholic will see four." The young alien turns to his dad and says, "But dad, there's only one plane in front of us."
That's a good one. Oh my God. Hey, and I wonder if aliens have drinking and driving laws. I doubt they do. They can
mm,
fly at will.
well, they probably
All
have
right.
autopilot.
Yeah, I know, right? It does everything for them, so they don't have to worry about that.
Well, we have autopilot in in our planes. Our pilots could be on Molly for all we know, and
Who knows? It'd be
hmm
terrifying.
yeah. So how
All right.
are
Well, I
aliens?
have a good one.
Oh, you have another
Oh, go ahead.
joke? Go. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go
What do
ahead.
aliens do when they pass Earth?
What do they do when they pass Earth?
Hmm.
I
They
don't
lock
know.
the doors.
Oh, wow. We're that dangerous, huh?
I could agree. Yes, definitely.
Oh, that's good. How are aliens portrayed in popular media, and what do you think about that, B?
Well, I like the fact that they're always varied. Um, you do have, especially over time, you had the little green men, which was a very common stereotype. Then you had the tall silver men, which came out like later. And then you have the ones that morph from alien form into human, like Men in Black. You also have like in Encounters of the Third Kind, they're robots. So it's very interesting the different ways we've come up with envisioning aliens.
Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't take into perspective ones that can transform from horrible looking aliens into humanoids. So, because
Well, I think like Cocoon is another example. That's an older film from I think the 80s, where
okay.
aliens have a different form and then they take on human form in order to blend in and be accepted by human society.
Well, you mentioned Children of the Corn before.
Oh, yes, yes, that one, Stephen King, Bada Boom, Bada Bing. That one's a terrifying film. And it basically, to sum up the premise, and I'm doing a very poor job, I'm sorry, Mr. King. Um, but basically, what happened is the aliens come down in one night, impregnate an entire town, and the women all give birth at the same time. And all these little new children are there to take over the world, and only one of them is affected by his mother's humanity and actually tries to save the humans versus working with all of his or her siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And they all look just alike, and they were all carbon copies of one another. And I used to make the joke, like when me and my brother and sister were little, we looked like children of the corn because we had like, bright white hair and we looked very similar. And so, yeah, there's no mistaking that we were related.
Well, I have noticed a trend in the us against them in the movies, which is, gone are the days of E.T. and his weird little wrinkles.
Oh,
Uh,
I know. I loved E.T. I had a
yeah,
little E.T. plush when I was a kid.
yeah,
He was so friendly and so, like, relatable. And now aliens are terrifying.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. This we're bombarded by frightening images of monster like aliens.
But I mean, in the 1950s, it was something very similar, because there's like an invasion of the body snatchers and things like that. These films that elicited fear, not like, oh, cute, fuzzy aliens, but more like the aliens are coming to get us to take us over or eat us.
Okay. So how about we do another joke time?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think it's your turn since I got to do the last one.
Okay, great. Why don't aliens visit Earth often?
Why?
Because it's rated only 1 star.
Oh, snap. See, I love that. I love that. See, and this is why I have a joke that I think might be the reason why, people portray aliens as scary. Why do aliens find humans so fascinating?
Why?
They don't. So maybe it's our egos that's why we're creating aliens as these frightening, terrible objects.
Or they
Yeah,
want to constantly visit us and study us.
exactly. Exactly.
Well, in the news media, aliens are depicted as a threat to national security since the recent
Hmm.
disclosure of ATIP, which I think I've spoken to you about ATIP before, but for the audience sake, ATIP is Aerospace Identification Program, Advanced Aerospace Identification Program. And since its existence, the media has run news stories of the Tic Tac and the gimbal footage. Have you seen the Tic Tac and gimbal footage?
No, I have not.
Oh, oh wow, we're gonna have to show you that. The Tic Tac and gimbal footage are footage directly from the military showing unidentified flying objects or UAPs, unidentified flying phenomenons. Um, Identify unidentified aerial phenomenons. I mean,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, and they really can't explain it, but they show these objects that are going against the wind. One of them is called the gimbal because it's turning, and
Mm.
yeah, and
I was thinking a gimbal was like Gimli from Lord of the Rings, so thank you for clarifying that.
no problem. Every time I think of gimbal, I think about the actual little gimbal device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, um, the news media has asked the important question: are we safe?
Hmm.
And what do you think?
Well, this is what I think, and it's a joke. What do aliens think when they see humans?
What do they think?
Man, it's what's for dinner.
So you think that we're not safe?
Yup. If
Okay.
aliens exist and they are out there, I don't think that we are objects of curiosity. I think more so we are, if they do bother with us, we're more like a nuisance, maybe like fire ants or something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're really destructive little creatures that go out and jack up the universe. I mean, because fire ants will destroy somebody's yard, just destroy it because they're building, what they need and what they're thinking of, but they're not, well, they're ants, so they're not really thinking about the global picture. But that's just my personal opinion.
Okay. In a way, media, so not social media, but news media, is creating a sense of urgency to protect ourselves against a foreign entity. In other words, an invasion, in my opinion. Uh, but my
Well, I hope
personal
it's quick.
my personal opinion is about whether we are safe or not. I believe that we are safe because if their technology is so advanced, if they really wanted it to harm us, they would have done so already. And they
Right.
would have,
I
yeah.
can see that logic. I can.
hmm Well, it's joke
Well, I
time.
have two more jokes to use in this. Yes. What do aliens think when they see a human in space?
I don't know. What do they see? What do
50 points.
they?
And
Eh,
then I have one more, and then of course I'll turn it over to you.
okay.
How do we know that aliens exist?
I don't know how.
Some of our presidents have been elected.
Oh, that's a little hurtful.
Oh, hey, you can take it either way no matter which side you're on.
Uh-huh. My joke. Let me see. Why do aliens not eat clowns?
They're clowns. Oh my God. Ugh. I don't know why.
Because they taste funny.
Oh, but a bump. Nice.
That one's a simple one, but it's
Nice.
funny.
Yes, I like that. Okay, here's one. What can humans contribute to alien culture?
What?
Ramen. Can't go wrong with ramen noodles.
Uh, well, let's uh let's talk about social media now.
Okay.
So, how does social media, Facebook, Twitter, and the latter, ex- um, show or depict aliens?
Ooh. Well, a lot of times they depict them physically. Normally they have very large eyes, or there's some kind of strange entity that is asexual, um, at least in appearance form. But they are humanoid, which I found was very interesting because it's our way of our imaginations trying to understand alien culture, I guess, or trying to relate what aliens look like. But those are the biggest, like, when you go to the store, you'll go out and you'll see a little toy figurine of an alien that's green with big eyes, big hands, and big feet.
Yeah.
Um, but you also, on the other hand, you have the ones where they're like, oh, well, aliens are here to probe us or to, research us, where they're guinea pigs. And on that note, I have a good joke.
Go ahead.
What is long and shiny with a ball at the end?
The probe,
A ballpoint pen.
ballpoint pen. You knew I was gonna say probe, didn't you?
I so did because I set you up for that one.
Uh,
But yeah, I think a lot of times, to increase the fear is that a lot of the things we see when discussing aliens um, is more so about how, all the things we cannot answer, and therefore the questions, and then our relationship with said aliens is a thing of fear and not of awe or interest, or
okay.
not interest, but like one that would create more research. There are people out there that do it, but it's not what's displayed in popular media. Popular media, they're terrifying.
Well, your perspective of social media is very technical.
Shoot, sorry.
Well, I'm
I
not
have
as
issues with social
technical.
media.
I was researching this and I looked through social media and
Hmm.
um, kind of found the believers and the non-believers, and I found Memes. Um,
Nice. I love memes.
yeah, I enjoy my aliens related memes. Well, social media has one honorable mention. My favorite guy from History Channel's Ancient Aliens, Giorgio Tsoukalos. You know that
Is he
guy?
the hair guy?
Uh huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like I love watching him because I'm like, okay, how tall is his hair gonna be? Is he using it to communicate with aliens? I can't tell.
It seems that every episode his hair gets wilder and wilder.
It does. It really does. And maybe that's just the, persona he's trying to garner. But yeah, it's like, whoa. And you pay attention to him. You cannot ignore him.
Mm-hmm. You can't.
He's not an expert that you gloss over. You're like, okay, I'm going to watch to see what this guy says.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say that I still hold a lot of respect for him. And I enjoy watching the show, and I rewatch the episodes on Amazon so many times. Uh, it's kind of why I have this podcast too. Uh, he also has his own show called In Search of Aliens, which is a series from 2014, but it's still good.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's also on Amazon. So joke time. This is my turn. Why
All you,
do
bro. All you.
why do aliens prefer light years over normal years?
Why?
It has less calories.
Especially in this modern day and age where we're fixated by our physical appearance. Nice. Nice. It has less calories.
Yeah.
I like it.
In spite
That's
of
the
all,
Weight Watchers version.
yeah. In spite of all the funny jokes and memes, I take the alien conversation very serious.
Hmm.
It's fun to watch shows and movies, but some of these movies question us to answer the unanswerable. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie Prometheus, I am about to spoil some of it for you. A
Okay. I haven't seen it.
a humanoid alien race created us to later regret their creation and seek to destroy us.
Okay.
So,
That that's a very similar theme that's played out in our culture as well, like in the fact that humans created robots and robots are going to take over the world.
yeah, but could we be the children of an alien race?
Mm. I have no idea. I was
Mm,
not around when the Earth was created. I wish I did. That would be kind of wild to find out. Are we that? Is evolution just a part of we evolved from a or alien species?
the other question I have is our planet a petri dish? Just something to examine.
That's a very good question.
Yeah. Yeah, could we even be an alien race ourselves, one with amnesia, like my brother likes to say? So,
That would be convenient, but I think that would make one of those, the Truman Show, an alien Truman Show, where they're watching us and none of us know what happened. They're like, ha ha.
yeah, that sounds funny. Oh, well, joke time.
All right.
Your turn.
Okay. Let's see. What did E.T. say to his mother when he phoned home?
I don't know what.
Ma, come get me. These people are crazy.
That was the urgency. That's why he,
Yes.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Would you want to hang around if you were E.T.? I know I would not. I'd be
No,
like,
they
I'm
were out to
booking
get
it.
him.
I'm getting the first ride out because you guys are like experimenting on me and doing weird things. Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, they were out to get him. Well, my joke is four aliens walk into a bar. The first says
Hmm.
to the first says the first says take me to your leader.
Okay.
Then he probes him.
Oh.
The second says take me to your second in command. And then he probes him. And the third alien says, take me to your third in command. And guess what happened?
The alien gets probed?
Nope, he probes him too.
Oh,
But there's
okay.
four aliens. The fourth alien says, get me a drink because those three other aliens just broke out of prison for probing.
Oh, gross. That's vile. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I have two jokes that play upon the alien stereotype.
Okay.
What is tall, skinny, and green on top?
I know you're setting me up for this one.
Hmm.
I don't know.
A pine tree.
I was gonna say an alien, but I
Uh-huh.
just knew that
Uh-huh.
wasn't the answer.
All right, I have another one. What is long and green and has three toes?
An- Another alien.
A sloth.
Okay.
I told you the jokes I came up with were terrible. So you're welcome for those two gems of you'll not get your life back.
Well, the ballpoint pen one, that one really got me.
Yeah, that one was a good one. It took me a minute too. I was like, "Oh, this is so good."
Yeah. Well, this is how, in general, media treats aliens. Uh, if you have a different perspective, feel free to leave a comment. Remember to follow us for more content. This does it for today at the Alien Portal podcast. Thank you for listening. Till next time, my friends. Thank you, B, for joining us. Do you have any ending remarks?
I do. I do. What do aliens say when they see humans in space?
I don't know what.
Dang it, we left the gate open again. Thank you guys.
Thanks again for listening. Goodbye.